What's up, guys? In this video, I'm literally going to show you how you can break into the remote high ticket sales space for completely free. If you don't have experience, if you do have experience, if you're 15 years old, if you're 30 years old, this is the exact steps that I would take so that you can hit your first 5K, 10K, even 15K months in high ticket sales. Let's jump into it. All right, you guys, essentially, in this video, I am literally going to outline in detail a whole entire course on what high ticket sales is for completely free. You guys, I promise you that if you do not take the information that I give you at kind of like as a grain of salt, if you literally take everything that I tell you and everything that I give you, I promise you, you will make money. It will work for you, right? But if you look at this video and you're kind of just like, whatever, it's kind of, whatever, you look past it, you don't actually put any action behind it. And then of course it's worth absolutely nothing. But essentially in this video, I'm giving you everything that I have learned over the past years, everything that I know in terms of high ticket sales, how to get into it, how to break into high ticket sales, how to hit your first 10K month, how to hit your first 15K month, 5K month, everything. Also outline my story, my experience, everything like that. So let's just jump in. Okay. How did I come from this kid who was a degenerate? I was drinking all the time. I was smoking weed. I had a 1.8 GPA in high school. I remember I literally failed geometry. What was that? Sophomore year of high school. Did not give a fuck. I always wanted to make something for myself. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. Okay, here's a literal screenshot of my bank statement, September 7th through October 4th of 2024. Ending balance $80, deposit and additions 1,500. Okay, I was literally broke. I'm not joking, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is and showing you who I am. And fast forward to now, I'm able to travel. I bought my dream car. I bought my dream apartment. Able to do all these nice things. And here's a screenshot from July 8th to August 6th. Deposit and additions 25K. I don't want to give the other stuff out there, but it's not just me either who is able to who changed his life essentially through high ticket sales. It's not just me. Okay, Connor, who I used to work with at a nightclub, he was a barback. He was a coworker of mine. He came to me. He's like, bro, how are you doing what you're doing? I essentially gave him everything that I knew, coached him. He was making 2K a month. Literally, he was is stuck in the rat race, stuck in where most of us are. He was able to hit 14K in one single month. He hit $4,500 in one single day. Super proud of Connor. I mean, this was super fulfilling for me as a person to be able to do this for him. He also bought a Tesla, brand new Tesla. He quit his job. Here's more stuff from Connor. Thank you, bro. You changed the trajectory in my life. God, I love that. I love that kid. John as well, who was actually already a closer, and he was stuck at about 6K a month, implemented the steps, implemented a few things that we'll go over today in today's video, and was able to, I believe John's making around 17 grand a month right now from closing, 15K a month right now from closing. Here's him collecting 25K in 3 days. He bought a Bronco. Here's some social proof for him and some results from him that he has on a sheet. Who else do we have? We have Adam, who's 15 years old, literally still in high school, 6K PIF, 1,200 commission, making more than his teachers. We have Eddie. Here's $1,000 commission for Eddie, 3K PIF. You've got Philip, 1,800 PIF. You've got Sam, right? Okay, so this is all great and all, but like, why should you actually even listen to me, right? Because that's really what's most important. There's so many people out here, and you have to be really careful with who you're getting information from, because a lot of the people out here that are trying to sell you something are just trying to sell you a dream, and they don't actually even do it. So what I'm doing here is essentially putting my money where my mouth is and showing you guys, results that I've actually had. So you have a $2,200 day, you have $1,000 day here, you've got, Zells and wires from different offers that I've been on, 350, 600. You got a 3K day. You've got, I don't even know how much this was in a day. What else do we have here? 11K month, more Zells from LLCs, more and more Zells from LLCs, 19K, 800 day, 1,500 day, $633 day, 800 day, 3K day. Okay, you get it, right? But not only that, what's most important and more important than that in screenshots is actual experience, and is the person that you're even listening to doing what they're saying. So what I did here is every single closing call that I've ever taken, I have recorded, and essentially here are all recordings of closing calls that I've taken. These are my whole entire call library of deals that I've closed, deals that I didn't close, deals when I first started closing, in the middle of closing, to my closing calls now. Everything in here is recorded, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these videos that I have. Right. So I actually do what I say I do, and I actually am who I say I am. And that's essentially why you should even listen to me. I was able to change my life in a matter of about 6 months, from going and living 2K a month, barely scraping by, to crushing 15K months. And there's the proof for it, right? But the real big question is like, how? Because if you don't know how, then you don't know how. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how. I'm going to first lay out what high ticket sales is, okay? So high ticket sales 101. Essentially, all high ticket sales is selling a product or service for a very high amount and then getting commission based off of that, right? But how does the actual system work, and what is remote high ticket sales, and what I do specifically? So what it looks like, right? You have an offer owner, you have a setter, you have setters, and you have closers, okay? So it all starts with the offer owners. These are going to be guys that are selling, courses or products or services, essentially. Okay. You've got people like Brez Scales. Okay. This is a bigger fish. He has, 1 million followers. So you got people like Brez Scales. You've got people like Yash here, who I personally know. Shout out Yash, who's obviously a little bit smaller. So Yash only has 700 followers. You've got people like Harley, and there's hundreds and hundreds of these guys out here. This guy is selling a how to run ads. This guy's selling a day trading course. This guy's also selling a how to run ads and make money off of ads. You have people doing how to do Airbnbs. You have people doing real estate. You have people selling done for you content packages. You have fitness programs. There's hundreds and hundreds of these guys out here. And what these guys do and how it works for them is essentially they will market. They will market themselves. They will run ads on how Yash was able to make 300K through day trading, or how Brez was able to get a GT3 RS, a Mansory G-Wagon through running ads. Same with Harley, or how this fitness program took me from XYZ to this. And they run these things, and they run them on, either Instagram or TikTok or Facebook ads. And essentially they're just running ads, garnering attention. They'll showcase their lifestyle or a desired outcome. So they'll be saying, here's how I live, here's how I can afford this at this age, whatever it might be. They'll run the ads, they'll showcase that essentially. On those ads, each of those ads, at the end of them, they have a little thing called a CTA. So a CTA is essentially, click the link in my bio and I'll show you exactly how I did XYZ. Or at the end of the video, they'll say, hey, click the link below if you want a free training, if you want this, whatever it might be. That's what we call a funnel. So let's say at the end of one of these guys' videos here, they say, click the link below to actually get a free training on how exactly I did this. As soon as they click that link, they're going to be brought to a page that looks exactly like this. So this is what Brez's looks like. 95% of, businesses fail for this reason. Unlock free training. So essentially what he has is the free training. So unlock the free training. Here's Yash's, take your trading to the next level, get started for free. You'll click that. Here's Harley's, give me the free training, right? So all these guys have give me the free training, whatever it might be. Once you click, give me free training, or get started for free, or unlock the free training, you get sent directly to something exactly like this. I believe that this was Harley's once you click it, but essentially they all are the same. They all look the same. Fill out the info so I can send you the free training. So what does it ask you for? It asks you for a name, it asks you for an email, and it asks you for a phone number. Send me the free training. After you click send me the free training, they'll send you the PDF or whatever the free training is. But as soon as you've clicked send me the free training, you enter a sales pipeline. So you enter a sales pipeline for whoever's managing or whoever the sales guy are for these guys here. So once you enter them, give me the free training, you enter the sales pipeline, and it's almost always hosted on Go High Level. There's a couple of other softwares out there, but it's almost always hosted on Go High Level. So once you get sent into here and put your information into there, you get sent into a CRM or into a pipeline. And what this is, all this is once you click that, you get thrown into a new leads section. And then setters are going to start calling you, and they will move you based off of where you are in the pipeline. So if you've been contacted, if they need to call you back, if they set the appointment, whatever it might be, right? Bottom line is now you're no longer on the front end side of these guys' offers. Now you're plugged into the back end side of things where you actually have sales teams and everything like that that are contacting you. So what actually is this whole system from, top to bottom, what actually is, this, and all it is an actual purchase funnel. And you see this all the time in business. It's so many different ways. Essentially, what they do is a market awareness. So market potential, how do they market awareness? Through their Instagram, through posting videos, through posting lifestyle, through, ads, everything like that. So they're garnering attention, essentially. So awareness or attention. After they've done that, what they need to do now is garner interest. So garner interest in the people that have come from the awareness or the market potential. So these are suspects. These are essentially potential buyers. And how do they garner interest? They do it by showcasing lifestyle once again, or offering a free training. So once a prospect is interested, now they're lower into the funnel. Now starts to come the desire. Same exact thing with the desire. Showing the lifestyle. They're no longer aware of this person. They're no longer interested in this person, but they actually want what this person has. Once they have that desire, the next step is action, and action is where the money is, and action is bottom of funnel. So bottom of funnel is going to look like this: action. They're no longer just consuming your content, but now they're actually taking action behind what you have, and that's comes through the CTA, whatever it might be. So that's the offer owner side of things. That's how that works. Boom. Now, once you're into the pipeline, now you have the team of the sales team hitting your line. So as soon as you click that, give me the free training, they're calling you. Yo, dude, I saw you were interested in Harley's offer, or in what Harley does. Tell me a little bit more about that, right? So what sparked their interest? Okay. Now I need to qualify this person. Do they have the money? Can they afford it? Check, they can. Are they serious about it? Check, they can. Okay, what I can do for you, bro, is I can book you into a call with an offer owner's right-hand man, who in reality, all he is the closer. I'm giving you guys so much free sauce right here. This could get me killed. I'm not even kidding. I'll book you into a call with the closer. On that call, he can show you exactly what it would be like to work one-on-one with XYZ offer owner and what we can actually do for you. Are you open for a call? Yes, I am. Boom. Okay, now he's getting booked into a call with a closer. So the closers are guys like this: Josh Lyons, Andreas, Johnny Ma, people like me. So once they hop onto the call, they're already vetted. They've already been warmed up so much. They're already familiar with who the offer owner is. They've already talked to a setter. Now it's like, okay, all the closer has to do is walk everything through with him and actually collect the payment. All the closer's job is to close them on the high ticket program, working one-on-one with XYZ offer owner, however that might be. What that's going to look like is a 45-minute in-depth call on Zoom or on Google Meet. And essentially this closer is going to be dropping game on, bro, why haven't you changed anything? Why are you still in this position? What happens if nothing changes? Okay, let's have you work one-on-one with Harley, or let's have you work one-on-one with, Breast. Okay. That's essentially this whole ecosystem. That's how high ticket sales works. That's what I do exactly. Although the only part that I play is this person here. I started here and now I'm here. Most people, you always start as a setter and then you work to a closer. So what is the difference in pay? How do I get paid? What do the payments actually look like? Everything like that. Okay. It is commission only. Okay, so this is the hardest part. This is not built for everyone. Someone who can't handle the pressure of making $0 one week and then $5,000 the next week and can't handle that is not built for you. You do not get a base. Some offers you do. On my particular offer, I do, but that's only because I've been with my guy for so long and I've made him so much money that he has no problem giving me a base. But for the most part, it is commission only. And how it actually works is the offer owner, to work one-on-one with them, it'll be between $2,000 to $100,000. So to work one-on-one with one of these guys, it's going to be between $2,000 to $100,000. Let's take The setters make 5% commission and the closers make 10% commission. Let's take an offer, for example, that is 5K. So offer that's 5K. All the offer owner does is post content, run ads, and then essentially that's it. Setter sets the lead for 5K. Closer closes the lead for 5K. Setter makes $250 off the 5K. Closer makes $500. The rest goes back to the offer owner. And then once you're done, once the setter's done, once the closer's done, they don't have to worry about fulfillment. They don't have to worry about the client. They don't have to worry about chargebacks or anything like that. They get paid, boom, said and done. Typically on a 1099 or Zelle in the beginning or something like that. That's high ticket sales one-on-one. Okay. That is essentially what I do, how I do it, how it works, the whole entire ecosystem. Guys, that right there, I wanted to make that as in-depth as possible because it is so important to actually understand how the thing works. And not a lot of people are going to tell you exactly how it works. I just exposed a $1 trillion industry. This right here is essentially exactly how all of these guys are making money and how it works. Now let's transition in what it actually takes to become this guy, because it isn't easy. It isn't for everyone. And it wasn't easy for me. And it took a lot from me. So now that you have an understanding of what high ticket sales actually is, let's go into what it actually takes to become a successful high ticket remote closer. Guys, I know that this is going to sound stupid and I know that you guys are going to hate this, but regardless of what you think or not, mindset plays one of the most important roles in anything that you actually do. Because if you think about it in this way, you watching this video right now, the exact life that you live is because of the brain that you have, the information that you have, and the mindset that you have. The exact reason that Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or, whoever it might be out there is living the life that they have is because of their exact mindset, their exact information, their exact brain. So if you look at it, nothing matters more than this. If you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have that in place, then it's never going to work. If you don't have the right information, if you don't have the right mindset, if you're not operating in the correct level, then it's worth essentially nothing. I have 5 different things here. The closer mindset that you need to actually crush 10 to 15K months, they need you. What I mean by that is these people that are hopping on your phone calls, they need you way more than you need them, right? For someone to hop on a phone call and say that I want to change my life and you have the information that's going to take them there, you have to come from the position, have to come from the position that they need you. They absolutely need you against all odds, right? Because if you're coming from the position of like, oh my God, I need this guy to close. Oh my God, I need this guy to close. You're not going to close him because that comes off horribly across the phone. So they need you. Second one is abundance. What I actually mean by abundance is if you are not thinking and operating out of an abundance mindset, you're absolutely losing. So when I say abundance, what I actually mean by that is regardless. So the whole reason that a lot of people stay stuck is because they're worried about, okay, how am I going to afford this next week? Or what if this doesn't work out? Or what if that doesn't work out? No matter what, against all odds, it's like, okay, I don't really care. I already know that I'm going to make it. I already know that it's going to work out. I just have to put in the work. I just have to hold up my end side of things. You have to have an abundance mindset, especially when you're a closer. Because if you don't, you're going to get fucking screwed and your mind is going to trick you and you're going to absolutely lose. The third thing that I have is an identity shift. This is arguably the most important, right? And this comes into, books that I've read, reality transurfing and reprogramming your brain and actually shifting your identity to no longer thinking in the version of yourself now, but thinking of the version of you who's making 30K a month, right? Because the version of you who's making 30K a month completely operates differently and has a completely different mindset than the version of you right now. So if you're thinking in the mindset and in the identity of the person that you are right now, you have no other way than to actually stay exactly where you're at. Versus if you're already vibrating and operating and moving and talking and feeling like the version of you who is making 30K a month, the world starts to adapt to that and starts to respond to that. And I will show you an example of this right now. I put this in here. I don't know how this works. This is a video. This is a video of me. Okay. March of this year. Just listen.
Making 10K a month, and I'll be playing this exact song in Mercedes-Benz AMG C43.
Run it back. Okay. Do you see what I mean now? Do you see what I mean now? Okay. I literally took that video and it wasn't like this kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I'm thinking it. You can literally hear the conviction in my words. It wasn't like, oh, I thought it was, I knew, bro. I knew with 100% certainty that it was going to happen, and it did. But the only reason it was that the way that it was because of the identity shift, the identity reframe. I swear to God, that is the realest thing on this list. This might be the biggest and most sauce on the whole entire list out of everything that I've given you is this exact thing right here. You have to shift your identity and no longer be thinking in the version of who you are right now, but the version that you want to become. Fourth, resilience, especially in sales, in any kind of industry or whatever. You have to have resilience, because if you don't, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to start to get shiny object syndrome. You're going to start to think, oh my God, what I'm doing isn't working. What if this doesn't work? I don't know if this is going to work. And you're going to lose to the person who's like at the end of a call. If he doesn't close, he's like, all right, whatever, on to the next one. That ties in with this fifth one right here. Detach yourself completely with the sale. If you come across out of a position of neediness and you're thinking, oh my God, I need the sale, you're never going to close, because all you're thinking about is the sale, not actually helping the person, not actually helping the prospect. And these are just things that I switched from, that took me from, making 2K a month in sales to actually making 10K a month in sales, 15K a month, 20K a month, so on and so forth. These four things, as little and as, micro as they may sound, they're fucking huge and super, super important. Okay, so what is onto what is the actual difference of a setter versus a closer actually is, and what are the roles? How does it actually work? So the role of a setter, essentially, setters are, the front line of every sales operation, responsible for creating opportunities and feeding qualified leads to the closers. The core duties of them are to, do about 100 to 200 outbound calls a day, or inbound calls, depending on your offer, handle DM and cold outreach, qualify prospects, schedule calls, maintain daily metrics and CRM notes. You guys, I promise you, it's not easy. I don't know if what you were expecting, or if someone told you, hey bro, you can make 5K a month or you can make 5K in a week, or you can get rich quick. This is not that. This takes hard work. This takes dedication. If you are thinking that you are just going to come in here and, crush 10K a month, yes, that's happened before, but that's not normal. Usually you have to grind, you have to go through the shit in any industry. That's what I had to do. That's what a lot of people had to do. But essentially what the whole point of a setter is to qualify and set the calls. Okay. Expectations, hit daily, weekly appointment quotas, at risk of being replaced if you don't. This is the hardcore reality of it. It's like, if you don't perform, then, someone else is going to take your spot, take your life, take your wife. Communicate clearly and professionally with these leads, build rapport fast, pass only qualified prospects. This is a huge one. If you're a setter and you're giving the closer, Indian guys who have absolutely no money, or people that are not qualified to even be on the closing call, you are going to get kicked out and you're going to get replaced by a setter who's actually better. Income range, no bullshit to you guys, typically between 500 and 3K a month starting out. Top setters I have seen reach 5 to 10K a month plus. Connor obviously making 14K a month with setting, performance bonuses and different things can change that. Okay, so that's the role of the setter. You set, you qualify, and you call the leads, and you get them booked onto the closer's calendar. Okay, the role of the closer is to handle the actual sales conversations and the actual sales calls, converting qualified leads into paying clients. This is where the actual money is made and collected, right? You don't collect any money setting the call. Essentially, the setter's job and role is to sell the call for sell the closing call and sell the prospect on getting on the closing call. Core duties: conduct 6 to 10 back-to-back sales calls daily. You guys, no bullshit. Like I said, yeah, you can have a pretty free lifestyle and you can pick when you want to work, but at the end of the day, you're still going to have to be working, at least 5 to 6 hours a day. I have traveled, I've gone to Hawaii, I've gone on different vacations in California and Sedona and different places and been able to, do sales calls and make money there. But you're still working every single day. And you're taking about 6 to 10 back-to-back sales calls daily, especially if you want to operate at that 10K a month plus level. You're going to be working fucking hard. Handle objections, build trust, and close the deals. Track performance and continuously refine scripts. Collaborate with setters and offer owners to figure out what is actually converting the most. Performance standards: maintain about a 30 to 40% close rate. Handle pressure and rejection with confidence. Constantly improve objection handling and sales psychology. Income range about 5 to 15K a month potential, 15K a month plus. I have seen closers, bang out 50K months to 70K months on certain offers and certain people. Commissions, like I said, about 10 to 15% per deal, varies by offer. I currently make 12.5% on my offer, but industry standard, you're looking at about 10%. The actual whole goal with this whole thing and the progression path and what it actually looks like is, number one, first you start off as a setter. You learn the systems, you learn the communication, you learn the consistency, you learn the sales, and then you move to a closer. Okay. And then the closer, you master your objection handling and conversations and sales psychology. And then after that, the upper echelon is become a sales manager and get percentages off of, your sales, the people who are working for you, essentially. Build and train and oversee teams. That's really cool, because then you don't have to put 6 to 10 hours in a single day. How can you actually land your first role in high ticket sales? This is super important. And this is probably arguably one of the hardest parts to actually do, is actually get placed on an offer, get placed on one of these offers with these owners here. How can you do that? Okay. It's going to be hard, especially if you don't have it in through the industry, but it can be done and it is possible. Number one, you have to gain any sales experience that you can. Whether that's you take a course, whether that's you're doing retail sales, phone sales, door-to-door sales, they all count. Any type of sales experience is going to be better than none. Practice mock calls until you're confident and natural. So practice setting calls, practice closing calls, whether it's with AI, whether it's with a buddy, whether it's with your mom, your friend, whatever it might be. Study the fundamentals of sales psychology and objection handling, especially if you want to become a closer. Join online sales communities, Discord groups, and training networks or courses. Find opportunities, okay? Search on job boards for remote sales and high-ticket closer roles. I've seen people land sales jobs off of Facebook Facebook groups. I've seen people land sales jobs off of, essentially the job boards and remote sales is through Facebook groups. I would be careful though, through Facebook groups. I've seen a lot of people, run scams through Facebook groups. So definitely be careful with that. Connect with sales agencies and recruiting companies. This is easy. You can search up sales recruiting, people that are looking for offers, give in your info. They'll call you back and say, hey, we've got an opportunity for you, whatever it might be. I've got a free community where I literally outline exactly how you can find a job. I give you guys the resources that you need. That's completely free. Network with active setters and closers. Ask for referrals. So if you know anyone who's an active setter or an active closer and you've already, gained the actual experience and you're not going to look like a dummy, network with other setters and closers. Reach out directly to influencers, coaches, and agency owners offering sales roles. This was how I did it. And this is how is probably going to be the most successful, but also the hardest. It's going to be cold outreach through Instagram and cold outreach through, YouTube comments, whatever it might be, TikTok, whatever. You see one of these offer owners who that they're selling a course, that they have an offer, that they're running this system, and essentially you DM them. Hey dude, I've been, setting for XYZ. Here's my experience. Do you need any closers or any setters? That's how I found mine. I would recommend doing 50 to 100 outreaches per day. And if you do that long enough, I guarantee you'll find some way in and actually get one. But the next important part is actually nailing the interview. Once again, in my free community, I have a whole entire, actual module in there on how to nail your interview. But just as a quick overview, show hunger, show discipline, show coachability, and show experience. I think the most important thing of this is don't treat it like an actual interview. Be like, bro, I know what I have to offer. I know what I have to build. And if you can't see that, then it is what it is. And also a lot of these offer owners are just regular guys, and you don't have to put on some corporate mask. You can just be you, dude. And that's how sales is. It's you've seen Jordan Belfort and all these other guys that are actual sales guys. Bro, they're funny people. They're charismatic people. Don't be disingenuous on your interview. You have to come across as real and be funny and literally just be you. Demonstrate an understanding of both high-ticket sales and traditional sales. Be ready for mock calls and real-time objection scenarios. I remember one of my first interviews ever, the guy was like, all right, let's do an objection handle. Let's do a mock call. And we went through an actual mock call right then and there. Ask smart questions about training, support, lead flow, and commission structure. So, essentially signaling that exactly what they're doing. Like, okay, what are your guys' KPIs? What do you guys have? How much is your typical setter making? How much is your offer making? What's the actual lead flow looking like? What's your guys' close rate? What's your guys' actual offer? Do you have any guarantees? Whatever. Asking questions where it's like they know that you're not completely ignorant or don't actually know what's going on. Red flags to avoid when finding an offer: get rich quick or pyramid style programs, unrealistic income promises with no verifiable proof, offers that lack structured training or mentorship, and then vague commission terms or anything requiring upfront payment. Huge things to avoid if you're actually trying to land an offer for real. Who is and who isn't this actually for? Okay, so if you're like 18 to 35, you literally feel stuck. You're like, dude, fuck, what am I going to do with my life? I'm working a 9 to 5. I absolutely hate it. And you genuinely hate it and you genuinely want to change and you're actually ready to make the change and commit and sacrifice to what that's going to be, is for you. If you're already in sales, you want to level up into high ticket closing, it's 100% for you. I've seen guys that do door-to-door or Moxies or do solar sales or pest control, take their exact skill and take it into online remote high ticket sales and crush record-breaking months. If you've already tried side hustles or get rich quick schemes, this was me. This was literally me. This was me. I tried trading. I tried drop shipping. I tried reselling. And if those didn't work for you, it's mostly because that wasn't built off of an actual tangible skill. If you want to learn an actual real skill with a proven roadmap, 100% for you. And what I mean by real skill is like, dude, the information that you can take from becoming good at sales, you can literally take with you into any room. I just had one of my students, Christian, shout out you, bro, if you're watching this. He was like, bro, I literally took the Heaven and Hell's Island module that you taught me on our first one-on-one call. I took that with me to Utah and I convinced this lady to do XYZ. And I was like, that's exactly what it's all about. Most importantly, if you're hungry, if you're coachable, and if you're ready to outwork everyone chasing quick money, that's the most important, is outwork everyone. Like if you're actually ready to fully lock in and go completely all in. This is 100% not for you if you are looking to get rich fast, okay? Like I said, it's fucking hard. If you're looking to make 5K in 2 weeks, not for you. Click off the video or, go waste your time somewhere else. If you believe that you can work 2 hours a day and live off of commissions, if you believe that like, oh yeah, you're going to be able to, sip margaritas and, take one sales call and, make 10K a month, not for you. If you're afraid of hearing no or dealing with daily rejection, absolutely not for you. You will get told to fuck off. You will get told to go screw yourself. You will get told no hundreds and hundreds of times. And that's actually really hard for people. If you want success without putting in consistent work and consistent reps and actual fucking work, not for you. If you can't handle pressure of uncertainty of commissions, only pay, if you can't deal with the fact that you're not going to know how much money you're going to be making and you got to go hunt that money down, not for you. Like, honestly, dude, if you are actually expecting to make 5K next month with 0 sales experience, like, it's not for you either. Like, if you think that that's just how this works and whoever told you that was completely lying to you, not for you. But if you're looking more like this person and you understand and you're not like retarded and you know that it's going to take work and to live a crazy life, you're going to have to do crazy things, what most people can't do, then it's 100% for you. Okay, you guys, I'm not sure what happened, but for some reason I was just rewatching the video and it cut out completely once we got to this point in the video. So I'm filming this new one. I'm going to go over the right where we left off. So, you guys have got a good understanding of what is high ticket sales, how this system operates, how people are actually making money, everything like that. Now it's time to learn the actual skill that is going to make you money and how to actually close and use the sales psychology and actually do this thing. So I've got just kind of a quick overview of sales psychology and important things to learn throughout sales and high ticket closing. They're going to be worth a lot of value to you guys. It's not going to be everything. I'm not going to give you guys everything that I have because that would be completely unfair to to anyone, but I'm going to give you guys, the majority of it. So sales psychology and framework. The biggest thing that you need to know is why people buy and understanding the actual reason behind people actually buying. Okay. People only buy based off of emotion first, and then they will later justify it with logic. Your job in high ticket closing is to find their pain, amplify their pain, make it known that it's a real issue, and then position your offer as a bridge to their solution. So think about going back to people buying based off of emotion and then justifying with logic later. Think about the last time that you were hungry and the last time that you ate food. Okay. You felt hungry first. You said, oh, I'm going to go and get food. And then you later justified it with logic, right? You feel the hunger, you decide you're going to eat. And then later you're like, okay, how am I actually going to get there? For example, let's say you really want In-N-Out. You have an emotion, you're feeling the fact that you want to go and eat In-N-Out. You decide you're going to get In-N-Out based off of the hunger. And then later you're like, okay, what do I actually need to do? I need to get up. I need to walk. I need to grab my keys. I need to go open my car. I need to drive 15 minutes. I need to pick up the food. I need to come back and then I'll eat it. You buy based off of emotion first. You make decisions off of emotion first, and then later you justify it with logic. So the 3-step process: find their pain, number 1, amplify their pain, number 2, and then number 3, present the solution as your offer. So what I have right here, it's an exercise essentially that my first mentor gave me and taught me, and it's this position of heaven and Hell's Island. So understanding that Hell's Island is your prospect's current situation. So their current situation is they are on Hell's Island. They are unsatisfied with their physique. They hate their finances. They're unmotivated. They dislike who they are. They're unhappy with their life. Your job is to get them to admit these things, okay? So find their pain. Figure out what they're actually struggling with. Which one of these things is it is. Now, amplify that pain. Dude, how does that make you feel? I mean, how long have you felt this way? You said you're unhappy with your finances. What do you mean unhappy? What do you actually mean by that? Amplify the pain. Make it known. Get them to say it too. That's very, very important. And that's important. You have to get them to say it, and that's important because if they say it, then it's true. But if you go to them and tell them that they're unmotivated, then it's criticism and you come across as like a dick. Okay, so current situation is Hell's Island, and you have to get your prospect to admit that they are not happy with their current situation. Now, Heaven's Island is desired outcome. So their desired outcome is Heaven's Island. So things like desired outcomes. I want to make more money. I want to feel respected. I want the time freedom. I want a better physique. And now you build this up and get them to realize how far away they are from this actual destination and becoming that person. And you have to build the bridge from their current situation to where they want to be. The only way that they're going to get there is crossing through, you got it, your product. That's a quick Heaven and Hell's Island to kind of help you guys figure out the finding their pain, amplifying their pain, and then presenting the solution and showing how your offer connects to their desired outcome. Okay. Other important things to note when you're taking a closing call or setting, building authority from the beginning of the call. This is the game that separates a closer that's making 10K a month to 15, 25K a month. Okay. Find their pain. What problem? Or building authority. Sorry. You have to be able to build authority and building altitude, because if you can't, you're losing to the closer who can't. So building authority, what that actually looks like is positioning yourself as the expert in whatever field or whatever product that you're selling, and you know exactly what's best for them. Dude, I've been working with this business owner for XYZ amount of time. I've seen exactly what he's able to do. I've done it for myself. I'm going to show you exactly how this works. And my whole goal is for you to make a decision by the end of this call. Okay, that's an example. They need your leadership, not your neediness. If you come off desperate for the sale, you've already lost, right? And this ties into mindset and what we were talking about last time. Completely detaching yourself from the sale, completely detaching yourself from the outcome. The discovery process. This is arguably the most important thing with it throughout the whole entire call and throughout setting and high ticket closing in general is the discovery. The discovery is what will completely eliminate objections by the end of it. It's what's actually going to make you money. Asking deep intentional questions to uncover what they actually want to change. Guys, the quality of your questions dictate the quality of your results, and the quality of your results dictates obviously the quality of your life. So finding out their current income goals, what's holding them back, what outcome do they truly want. This ties back into Heaven and Hell's Island, asking questions like, what happens if nothing were to change, right? Why haven't you changed before? What's different about now? Creating urgency. Dude, if not now, then when? Another great way of creating urgency is using limited spots, using limited timelines or consequences of inaction to inspire movement, but also never pressure. The best urgency and the best position for your prospect to be in is when they realize the cost of staying the same outweighs the risk of the change that it's going to take and the sacrifices that they have to make. Okay, boom. Objection handling and objection handling mastery. The only reason why closers cannot handle objections is because they're taking them as actual objections. A really, really, really good closer understands that objections are not real, and all it is a smokescreen to a deeper underlying issue that needs to be figured out. So, for example, if you get an objection, these are the four most common. If you get an objection like, I need to think about it, I need to talk to my spouse, I don't have the money, I'm not ready right now, all these are essentially screens of smoke going over a deeper issue. So when your prospect says, I need to think about it, right? Okay, man, totally. I mean, go ahead, think about it. It doesn't matter to me, but like, just out of curiosity, bro, what is it that you feel like you really need to think about? See if I can help. And then they're going to open up. Yeah, man, I really just feel like I need to think about the finances. Okay, boom. Now you have the understanding that it wasn't, I need to think about it, is the finances. Okay, now you isolate that objection. You isolate it. You get it away from I need to think about, because it's just the object. It's not the actual objection. So, okay, bro. So just so I'm clear, like really the only thing that you're saying is the only thing, everything else that we've talked about sounds good. The only thing that you're kind of needing to think about is the finances. Yes, it is. Okay, now boom, you can go into handling the financial objection. I have financial objections on my YouTube. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. Go check it out. Go look at it. I need to talk to my spouse. Sure, bro. I mean, what do you think she would need to hear? What do you want to talk to her about? Figuring out, once again, what is the actual objection? Okay, bro. Yeah, you need to talk to your wife, but for what? Like, why? And then once again, isolating that objection and then handling it from there. I don't have the money. Okay, bro. Like when you say you don't have the money, are you just strictly saying like you literally don't have the money, or is it just hard, uncomfortable for you to make, right? Okay, I literally don't have the money. Okay, bro, just because you don't have the money, do you think that that's going to stop you from becoming the person that you want and getting resourceful into making a decision to make this work for you? I'm not ready right now. This is a hard one because this ties into their identity. This is no longer logistics. I'm not ready right now means that they're fearful. They're fearful of outcome, and that's going to have to be a whole entire identity shift, identity reframe. Once again, I have that whole video on my YouTube. Just go look at it, how to shift someone's identity, and I'll tie into that. The core principles: objections are just smoke screens. Every objection hides the real reason behind the hesitation. Your prospects are wearing a mask. They are not going to open up to you unless you make them feel safe, you make them feel heard, and you ask the right question. Your job is to gently remove it through empathy and curiosity. Number 4, you have to be a leader, have to. This ties into authority. This ties into framing the call. Guide them confidently towards a decision that's going to best serve them. And then number 5, confidence. If you're certain, they feel certain too. You hear this all the time through Jordan Belfort. You have to have certainty. You have to believe in what you're actually selling, which you will, because whatever you actually end up selling, these courses and stuff, they do really work. They do really change people's lives. Okay, that's done for right now. All the bullshit, everything that we went over in this whole entire video. What do you actually need to get started? How can you actually start doing this? All you need is a reliable internet and a computer, or even a phone. You can set with just a phone and Wi-Fi. That's literally all you need. There is no excuse that you shouldn't be making 5 to 10K a month, okay? But in terms of the skills that you actually need to develop, you have to have an objection handling mastery. You have to have objection handling down to a T, because this is exactly where 99% of closers fuck up. And then also sales psychology, asking the right questions, understanding buying behavior, understanding the buying beliefs, understanding how to get into emotional triggers and buying behavior. You have to understand how to communicate and how it's a ping pong and you're going back and forth, and understanding how to build rapport without feeling awkward or sounding awkward. You have to understand tonality and when to use certain tones at certain points of the call. Learn to lead conversations with empathy and authority. You have to have good time management and organization. Learn how to control your schedule, your energy specifically, and your follow-ups, emotional resilience and stress management, and then continuous learning and adaptation. The biggest things that you actually will need are these first 2, the objection handling and understanding how to communicate and building rapport. Okay, with all this being said, yeah, all this is great, but Hayden, like, what is the realistic outcome and how can this actually work? I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's going to suck. It's going to be hard. Anyone who's trying to sell you a dream and tell you otherwise, like if you're honestly coming in here thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to make 10K in my first month, you should just not even start and quit while you're ahead. But if you have the mindset like, yeah, I understand that developing a skill that's actually going to benefit me and pay for what I want is going to take time, it's going to take sacrifices, then this is for you. But realistically, on a realistic note, month 1 through 3 is what I like to call the valley of despair. And I will show you this because it literally applies to every single online thing out there. So the valley of despair, what that looks like. What the valley of despair looks like, is this. So when you start anything, whether it's drop shipping, whether it's day trading, whether it's, Amazon FBA, whatever it might be, you are at a peak. You are like, yes, I'm going to make this work. This is you. You're like, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to do it. And then you start this thing and you start to realize, fuck, this is harder than I thought. This is not exactly what I thought it was. And this right here is a valley of despair. So months 1 through 3 is going to feel like this. You're going to want to quit. You're going to want to stop. And this is exactly where 99% of people stop, is right here in the valley of despair. And then they move on to the next thing. Okay, yeah, I'll try drop shipping. Now the next thing. Okay, I'll try SMMA. That didn't work. And they think nothing is going to work for them just because they can't actually get through this valley of despair. So months 1 through 3, I won't even lie to you, you're probably going to be making like 500 to 3K. Not always. I've seen Connor made 12K in his first 2 months, but realistically, I want you guys to have realistic expectations. 500 to 3K is what you're realistically looking for, especially if you have no sales experience. However, after that, you'll probably be setting for months 1 through 3, and then you'll move to actually becoming a beginner closer, and that's going to be months 3 through 6. Now you're sitting more here. You're out of the valley of despair. You've gotten rid of this. You're no longer in that zone, and now you're coming up. Okay, you're probably going to be making around 3 to 7K once you start closing in the beginning, just because you haven't developed all your skills. You're not closing all your deals. You're probably at like a 20 to 25% close rate. You're not really good yet, but you're still good enough to actually make money. And then months 6 through 12 is where shit starts to get real. You start to master sales. You start to master objection handling. You start to understand buying behavior and communication and tonality and everything like that and what drives people to buy. And this is where you're hitting your 10K plus months. You're hitting your 15K months, your 20K months. And then after that, a year plus, the real end goal is just manage sales teams so that you don't have to take calls and you can just teach everyone how to do it and then, earn your money from there. This is realistic. Okay, you guys, the final thing that I'm going to leave you with, and you don't have to do this at all. Okay? I really do have a free training and it's actually completely free. And what you actually get in here is, number one, you have access to way more of the actual sales side of things, right? If you've made it to the end of this video, there's no reason that you shouldn't do this because clearly you're serious about it. But number one, you have actual sales training. So actual modules of understanding buying behaviors, how to close, how to set, everything like that. Number two, you have how to get place. You have placement in this, in the Closer Matrix free community. So you have how to get placed on an offer and then also how to pass interviews. And then number three, you're also connected to a bunch of current active setters and closers. So you have that community aspect of it. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to tell you guys to fucking do it, but if this is something that you're really serious about and you think that you can lock in, then join the free community. I'll leave it in the link in the description, the first link in the description. Other than that, you guys, I hope that this was at least a little bit helpful for you. I promise you, if you take all the information that I gave you in this video and you come into here and you actually apply everything, there's no way that you shouldn't be able to make money so long as you can make it through, that valley of despair that we were talking about. I'm going to cut it here, you guys. Once again, if there's any specific questions that you guys have or any specific videos that you want me to make, whether that's objection handling, whether that's a sales training masterclass, whatever it might be, let me know. Closer Circle Matrix, free training, free community in the bio. I'll catch you guys.